Welcome everyone. I'll go by the name of Camilio Salamander and my co-host KB the Mark.
Cause I'm a fucking mark for this shit.
You are watching the future #1 wrestling podcast show on YouTube. With that being said, welcome to the D&B podcast. So first we got the Smackdown After Mania show. Did it do good? Well, one thing I can tell you was better than Raw's. But SmackDown opened up with a promo from Roman Reigns, and basically what he was doing is he was just saying that he did exactly what he told everybody what he was going to do. And then Cesaro interrupted the promo, and then this basically tells us that Cesaro is next in line. But like on our last episode, I was telling you that I don't want to see that because the push of Cesaro, I don't want to see Cesaro beat Roman Reigns, and I don't want to see Roman Reigns beat Cesaro. You know, I want them to continue to build him up. But I also seen on Twitter that Adam Pearce, it could be some type of storyline going on because now they're trying to say that Roman win is invalid because Edge was actually over Daniel for at least 3 seconds. So it could be invalid, but I want to see what they're gonna do with that because you know, later on in the night, Cesaro he faced main event Uso and he got attacked by Seth Rollins. So it's like they kind of like, I could see that they gonna finish up their feud. Like Cesaro, he gonna finish up his feud with Roman, not Roman Reigns, but Seth Rollins, and then Roman Reigns gonna finish up his feud with Edge and Daniel Bryan. Then I think that's when they gonna connect in after that. But I still want to see some more build up to Cesaro. I don't want to see him push it to that main event scene yet because I just know, Roman Reigns gonna go over. I don't want to see him, I want to see him as champion, but I don't want to see him beat Roman. But I want to see him as champion though. But it's a hard decision.
Listen, my tribal chief. First off, before I go ahead and shower my tribal chief with the appropriate praise that he deserves, I'll say this. I did see the little thing on with Adam Pearce on Twitter. I did see that. I do, if that's the storyline they're going, I like it.
Yeah.
But still, my tribal chief pinned 2 guys. 1 Hall of Famer, and the second one is a first ballot Hall of Famer. My guy beat 2 Hall of Famers on the biggest stage of WrestleMania. Who else is there? What else does he have to prove? There's only one mountain that I need this Roman Reigns to climb, and that's Brock Lesnar. But I don't want to see that. See,
no, he did go to the Almighty. He already beat Brock.
But he didn't beat Brock with this attitude.
He didn't beat Brock, bearded Brock. That's what we need. We need a bearded Brock to come back.
I don't know why you don't like Cesaro being in the main event. You don't need to win. We just need to justify why you've been here for so long. Cesaro is a workhorse. You're gonna get a 4.5 to a 5-star match out of Roman Reigns and Cesaro.
Yeah, I want Cesaro to be. I believe he's a future champion, but I don't want to see that against Roman Reigns because I just know he's just gonna lose. He's not gonna win.
You never know.
But if he do win, I don't want to see him go over on Roman. Like Roman, I want to keep this this whole head of the table thing going on with Roman.
Listen, bro. Tell Vinnie Mac to tell your guy to drop the belt and come over here to SmackDown, and we can see who the head of the table really is.
Nah, he got to come to Raw. He couldn't get over on Raw.
We don't work on Mondays. I'm sorry.
So the first, we also got Pat McAfee debuted as SmackDown commentator. He replacing Corey Graves, who got moved over to Raw because we know Samoa Joe unfortunately got let go. But I do feel like SmackDown's not missing anything with Corey Graves being gone. Pat McAfee, he actually proved that he did good as commentator, and I really look forward to him and Michael Cole together.
I liked it. I liked it a lot. He really stood out to me. Him and Michael Cole. It seemed like first night there. I don't want to put too much into it, but you could really. Is it just me, or could you feel kind of like the chemistry there?
Yeah, like it's working up.
Yeah, and even Pat McAfee, the excitement. You know what it really was? It was the excitement that Pat McAfee was bringing. It was the energy. I haven't gotten that type of energy in a long time from WWE commentators.
Right.
And if that's how they're going to let him be, then they might be able to turn a corner, at least on SmackDown. When it comes to the commentary, I need Raw to do that. I understand the lead commentators it was his first night. I'm not going to put too much on him, but it was bad. And you got to, like I said, you got to know the product. You have to know the product.
Yeah. Hopefully they just go ahead and let that be Corey Graves on Raw. Let's just let him be the head commentator. Might as well. I want that to be the main voice we hear on Raw on Monday nights.
Yeah, I like Corey Graves. I like him a lot.
But the first match of the night, we have Rey Mysterio versus Otis. So Rey Mysterio, he hit him with a 619, and he tried to hit him with the with a splash off the top rope. But overall, this match ended up in a roll-up pin. One of the moves that WWE overly used a lot. But what's your take on this match?
I really didn't like this match. For some odd reason, Otis and Rey Mysterio to me they just don't mesh well. They're not good dance partners together. And I honestly believe it's because Otis can't move the way that you would need him to move against a Rey Mysterio. You know, when we think of Rey Mysterio, we think of the Hurricanranas and everything else, the Poison Ranas, and just zoom, 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 offense at 100 miles per hour.
Wait.
Yeah, and Otis, he can't move like that. Very stiff. And I'm glad they didn't let him get the splash off that they've been getting for a couple of weeks and months ago, because he could really put Rey on the shelf doing that splash. And don't get me wrong, when you do it against a little guy, it looks great until they can't come back. Then you're looking like, well, why'd you do it?
Right. But following up that, we got Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn. Now, this was, a WrestleMania rematch. The match, it went off pretty good. It's the same things that we saw at Mania and many times before. But the match was good, but overall it ended in a count out. Now, this is going to be something that they're going to continue to push. Of course, with the Sami Zayn story that him getting, that's a conspiracy going on, they're going to keep doing that. But with him and Kevin Owens, they at least going to do that until Backlash, I believe. WrestleMania Backlash. That's where they're going to end it. But they're going to continue doing it from there. I can see most of these WrestleMania feuds, that's what they're going to continue doing it up until. That's why it's called WrestleMania Backlash.
I mean, it makes sense. They got Charlotte Flair throwing herself into the Raw Women's title match on Monday. You're rerunning Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. The beauty of KO and Sami is that you go so long without seeing them, you forget that these two literally make magic. Now you're shoving it down our throats. I saw everything I needed to see of a KO and Sami Zayn match at WrestleMania, and it blew me away like I said it would. Right. I don't need to see them run it back. This is lazy booking. This is lazy.
Of course. So we got Bianca Belair. She's celebrating her Smackdown championship win, and she came out with the Street Profits. Now, Liz, I absolutely love this. I love Bianca Belair. All this credit to you, all this stuff. You deserve everything. But it did lead into a match with the Street Profits going up against Bobby Roode and Dolph Ziggler. With Dolph Ziggler and Bobby Roode coming out with the win. But what's your take?
I'm going to tell you my take. The Street Profits should have won the SmackDown Tag Team titles on night one of WrestleMania. Bianca Belair goes on to win against Sasha Banks. And you get this perfect look of the Street Profits and Miss Bianca Belair all holding gold to end WrestleMania night one. Think about it. The show, SmackDown, would have had all black champions. Every champion on SmackDown would have been black. But no, you decided to keep it on Rudolph and put them on that Friday night SmackDown before WrestleMania night one, in order to give us a rematch in which you paint the picture that the Street Profits have a chance to become the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, only for Dolph Ziggler to hit a zigzag at the end. I liked the match, I really did. It was a great match. But this is just WWE missing a moment again. If you didn't want to do it at WrestleMania, I understand. But the SmackDown after Mania, they messed up by not putting the belts on the Street Profits.
At this point, it's really burying them. And I really think a couple more losses, you pretty much got to change that gimmick, because this Solo Cup stuff is kind of dead.
Very stereotypical.
Yeah, so, yeah. But we got Natalya going up against Shayna Baszler. And typical women's match. It ends in a roll-up pin, of course. But after the match, Nia Jax, she tried to attack Natalya, but Tamina came in and super kicked Nia Jax. Pretty much it. But I mean, this whole show, with this show and Raw, it was really just like, a rematch for WrestleMania. I mean, I really think due to COVID is really the main reason why these after Mania shows were really horrible this year. But overall, SmackDown, I believe, was the better show. I mean, with the Natalya match, that's really, like I've been saying for weeks after weeks after weeks. I just believe they should just get more time. Actually put time into booking. But I mean, other than that, I thought it was gonna be something new, but I guess not. I mean, that's really it.
I mean, here's my question to you. How many times do we have to make Shayna Baszler look like a geek?
That's my main thing. Like, you got her getting pinned and getting rolled up and losing from distractions, but we also know she's a legitimate badass. I want to do this with Ronda.
Of course they want to do this to Ronda.
All right, so why you doing it to her? Like, why y'all not booking her to be this badass and shit like that? Like, I don't know.
Shayna Baszler could have been Raw Women's Champion for a year straight, and nobody would even have batted an eye.
Yeah.
Because there's nobody on that roster.
She could have held the belt, how Asuka held the belt, NXT Women's Champion belt for over 500 days. That could have been Shayna on the main roster. And people wouldn't even be like, damn, she ain't the fit. Nah, she is. She just whooping people's ass. Like, the whole time around the gone, she could have been holding the belt. Like, I think the women division really not gonna get better until Becky and Ronda come back.
I mean, you can't. One of them is gonna have to go to Friday.
Yeah,
you can't have them all on the same show.
Yeah, I think they don't know what to do with them without them. So that's why we just get whatever.
I mean, I don't even want to guess what their storylines are going to be when they come back, because you just know it's going to be bad.
But like I said earlier, the main event, we had Cesaro versus main event Uso, and the end of the disqualification match because Seth Rollins came in and attacked Cesaro. So like I said, basically all the matches that we seen at WrestleMania, we going to get a rematch at Backlash. But I mean, that's really it. It's really nothing else to really say about any of the matches for real.
I mean, the match was okay. Yeah, once I've seen a main event Uso match, I know how the main event Uso match is going to go. I did like that they continued teasing the arm. Main event Uso did go back to the arm, but Cesaro was always just one step ahead, and that's how you have to book Cesaro at this point. I mean, you're going against the right hand man to the head of the table.
But how many times in a week have we seen main event Uso either lose or get his ass whooped?
I mean, that's unfortunately that's what you have to do. I mean, he didn't. I know he asked for Roman, but got main event Uso. But you didn't even have to go that route in the story. You could have just said, had Cesaro go back there to Adam Pearce and say, "Give me an opponent. I'm going to make him pay attention to me." You don't need a match with the head of the table or main event Uso at this time. You should be giving Cesaro different opponents, and Roman Reigns, he's slowly but surely catching the head of the table's attention. You know what I'm saying? With the superstars he's beating. And you just had Daniel Bryan come off a loss. That could have been the first one you start with. 1 week he beats Daniel Bryan. The next week he beats Edge. Or you want to put somebody in between there before you hand him, before you give the Cesaro versus Edge match. But no, WWE wanted to rush into it. When we could have been building up Cesaro, like you said earlier, we could have been really building him up to where now he looks like a legit, credible threat, because he looks legit now. But can you imagine if he beat a couple people, including Daniel Bryan and Edge, on his way to Roman?
That's what I mean. So that's why I'm saying, like now, like he look legit, but going up against Roman, he's not gonna win. Roman's gonna be made the champion. But if we take the time and build them, and like you said, feed him opponent after opponent, and if you go ahead and beat Roman Reigns' last two opponents, then it's like, there's a possibility that Cesaro could actually win now. Like, I just think they rushing it, and them rushing it gonna cause him, gonna cause him to go right back down to where he was at.
Yeah, but I see that. Yeah.
If you have to rate the show, what would you give the show?
Out of 10, I'm gonna give it a 5. It was a decent show. The Roman Reigns and Cesaro has me intrigued. The Cesaro Jay match was good, and even the Smackdown tag team title match, I will admit it was good, even though I hated the finish. But yeah, it was 5 out of 10. It was a decent show.
Yeah, I will give it a 5.5. Just it was better than Raw. Mainly what we got was rematches though, but even if the matches ended in a roll-up pin or disqualification or whatever, the match before any of that stuff happened, it was good. But if you ever give a match of the night, who would you give it to?
Street Profits versus Rudolph. It was great. The action was good. Montez Ford. I can watch Montez Ford all day. And even Angelo Dawkins. And that's the thing. I hope they don't break up the Street Profits, because Angelo Dawkins is going to fall by the wayside. And he's a really good wrestler.
I would give mine to Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Even though it was really like WrestleMania, like the rematch to it. And that match at WrestleMania was good, so it was like a part 2. So, your wrestler of the night.
My wrestler of the night is going to go to Cesaro. They keep telling me that your arm is not what it is. They must not know that you're the Swiss Cyborg, and they call you that for a reason. Nothing can hurt this man, which is why I'm very interested to see him versus the Tribal Chief.
Man, so mine, he actually didn't wrestle today, but just because he came out strong after WrestleMania, and then just his promo at the beginning of the show, I'm giving it to Roman Reigns. because I'm intrigued. I really like this character that they doing. So he got me.
Hey man, all you gotta do is acknowledge him.
So the first topic that we're gonna talk about is the release wrestlers that just got released this year on April 15th, the 1 year anniversary of the Blackout Wednesday. So one of the first people that we going to talk about is Samoa Joe. Now, with this, I'm very, very, very disappointed in. If he wasn't gonna come back as a wrestler, he was great as a commentator. But I heard that one of the reasons why he got released is because he couldn't get cleared in time to WWE standards. But you know, this is one of the hit and miss wrestlers that WWE have. But after his 90-day complete calls, I do see Samoa Joe making AEW debut.
Hey man, we would love to have Samoa Joe over here in AEW land. We would love that. We also want the Iconics too, because they deserve to be on TV. Anybody who doesn't get Billy Kay doesn't know funny, because Billy Kay is hilarious. Billy Kay's personality alone makes her funny.
Right.
But Samoa Joe, bring Samoa Joe over, because we need some legitimacy, because they don't believe us yet. The 1.2, they thought it was a fluke. We get Samoa Joe in there, July 14th, Tony Khan, make it happen, the Iconics and Samoa Joe. I'm very disappointed that they let him go too, because you could have stuck him on commentary. He seemed like he was having a fun doing it, and he sounded great.
He was just at Mania.
He was just at Mania.
He was just at Mania. Like most of these people, Billy Kay, she was just at Mania. She participated in night one, that tag team turmoil match.
You know what I think it is, especially when it comes to Samoa Joe. I think that once you have so many type of concussion injuries, they'll never clear you. I bet you it's an unspoken law within WWE. Probably after like 2 or 3 of them, they'll never clear you.
Probably, yeah.
It's probably an unspoken rule.
That explains why people like Daniel Bryan, Edge just getting Christian getting cleared by other doctors, and then trying to attempt a comeback from there.
Yeah. Like, I guarantee you, once you get 2 or 3 concussions on under WWE's watch, they'll never clear you.
And then one of my favorite wrestlers that got released, my girl Mickie James. I really hate this. I really think WWE dropped the ball with her, man. First of all, when she came in and they had her as like Alexa Bliss protege or whatever, how they was doing, I did not like that. It should have been the other way around. She is a legend. They should have really gave her more respect than what they actually gave her. And I believe like they should have gave her a title run, at least one. I mean, during that time when she was with Alexa Bliss, like that was the moment you could have turned her against Alexa Bliss, and then boom, going from there or whatever. But I don't like the way that she was used in that run. But I mean, I could see her having gone to Impact or over where her husband is at.
Listen, I don't know why you're mad. I'm not mad. I'm sorry. I don't know why you're sad. You should be happy, because now she can go to NWA and be with her husband and actually compete with the likes of Thunder Rosa and Sarah Deeb for that NWA Women's Championship. Give Mickie James. I did like the storyline with the Alexa Bliss with her coming in that cage match. I think it was against Becky Lynch before she became the man. Mm-hmm. And I really liked it, because I wasn't even expecting Mickie James. She just took the mask off. Since she took the mask off, I'm like, oh, that's Mickie James. And Mickie James still can go. She still can go. So I am going to hopefully No, I know if she gets signed by NWA, which I hope she does because her husband's there, I'm going to start tuning in just for Mickie James. That's how much respect that her name carries, at least to me.
Yeah. Then we got Chelsea Green. She wasn't really using TV like that. I mean, not really.
She was injured, bro.
I mean, even then, they don't use her one time.
Yeah, she got injured that same night.
Damn.
She got injured that same night. They released her while she was recovering and rehabbing from an injury. Either that, or she was just about to get cleared, or was already cleared.
Nah, I said during her recovery, she agreed to it. She signed. Damn, so she signed a new 3-year deal just to get released.
Yep.
God damn, that's fucked up.
Yeah, it is, bro. WWE clean the house. It's every year, April 15th.
And then we got
I'm
Tucker.
gonna put it in my calendar.
Now, then we got Tucker, which is, he wasn't getting used at all, especially after they broke up, him and Otis. Otis was the one that nobody really wanted. So, but I could see Tucker making, Ring of Honor, Impact. I could see him going somewhere like that.
You need tag teams in these horrible tag team divisions, and you broke one up to get the other one over, and you didn't even use the other one. You ended up releasing them, and now Otis is a heel. We did everything. We did everything with them, and at the end of the day, Otis is the one who's heel now.
Right.
Like, you could have just kept them as a tag team and had them in the tag team division, and you will have another tag team. But no, we want to break up because we really only see the potential in Otis. Otis to me don't look that good as a single star.
That's why they put him with Chad Gable.
So then what was the point of breaking him up?
Improve his tag team for real. Because Otis is the one they wanted.
You broke up a great tag team.
They broke up a good tag team to put together a great one.
But that team ain't great.
Yet.
I don't see this going more than 2 more months.
You don't like the combination of Chad Gable and Otis?
No, I do not.
The suplex in the splash combination? What?
No.
That's sweet.
No.
That's a crusher right there, especially Otis hitting that splash. You get hit with that's double suplex, and then right after that, boom, get hit with the splash for Otis.
Yeah, until he slip on the rope because he don't belong up there.
Nah, it's a couple big people that can move. He one of them.
He ain't. I'm glad you think so because I don't. He's stiff as a board.
All right, then after that we got Kalisto. Now Kalisto, he one of those wrestlers that I really believe that deserve way much more. I actually think that he's gonna do better outside of WWE. I actually think he's gonna make a name for himself outside of WWE. But I can also see him coming back in the future too. But just be on the lookout for Kalisto. He gonna shock the world. I think he's gonna be one of those sleepers, like one of them ones that you wouldn't expect. They got released and you wouldn't expect to make a good name for themselves. Watch.
I hope he go to Lucha Underground and show out like Johnny Mundo, like John Morrison did. Because that's really where I want to see Kalisto. They didn't give Kalisto enough credit, but I also heard that he wasn't good backstage at times either. But that's just what I heard. Honestly, I did feel like he was underutilized, and then when you throw him in there with the Lucha House Party, I'm like,
that was just a comedy act.
Yeah, I'm like, I really like Kalisto as a single star. You guys just don't know how to write him a proper storyline.
So we got Wesley Blake. Now, this whole thing I think is not fair. That was taken off of TV due to Jackson Riker comments, and then That was off of TV until Baron Corbin hired them as his knights. And then, they let go Steve Coulter. And then shortly after that, they let Wrestling Break go, which is unfortunate. Actually, them as a tag team, as the Forgotten Sons, actually had a lot of potential, but it got cut short due to one person comments. But he still signed with WWE, so I don't know what's up with that. And he was the one that actually caused all this.
It's because you got to look who the owner is. You think Vinnie Mac gonna let somebody go who see just the same things that he see, likes the same things that he like? It's upsetting to me that you keep. Did he say he said a racist comment? Didn't he?
Something on the regards of like supporting Donald Trump and stuff. Okay. Vinnie Mac, Donald Trump, they like best friends.
Yeah. So you fired the two people who
disagree with him.
Yeah, and then you keep him. It seems like WWE is running their business kind of backwards to me, but then again, they made record profits, so obviously they're running it the right way. So,
And then we got Bo Dallas. Now he haven't been on TV since November 13th of 2019, which is horrible. I don't know why. They could have, like me personally, I will say so many times, they could have put him in the Wyatt family. I don't know why he couldn't be another member when the Wyatt family was going. They could have been doing something with him and Bray Wyatt. I mean, they are really blood brothers. I don't know why they ain't doing nothing with that. But I mean, that's a drop ball lost potential to me that I think WWE really missed out on. I think they can really tell a great storyline with him and Bray, as if he kind of like he could be another character within the Fiend or something like that. So
yeah, I do feel like they dropped the ball.
Or do something with Bray coming out as Bray, and then the Fiend is there too. Then having Bo as the Fiend, just to give off the appearance that it's really two people. Like you see the Fiend, that's not Bray. Like that's the Fiend. Something like just because they brothers, so their similarities gonna be the same or whatever. Like they could do something with Bo, even if you're not gonna have him on TV or disguise him in some type of way. But they dropped the ball.
I mean, I wouldn't have put him with the Fiend. I would have just sent him back down to Triple H and let him be one of the people from NXT who's been there since the beginning. Let him just sit there on the NXT roster and do whatever Triple H wants him to be, instead of just wasting him and paying him to do nothing.
Yeah. But last but not least, because I'm pretty sure it's going to be more either later on this year. If not, then it's going to be on April 15th for next year. But we got Mojo Rawley. Man, all of these releases is really disappointing. Mojo, he been off of TV since June of 2020. But none of these people, they really didn't. Some of the people that didn't, that was off of TV for a while. But some people was just on TV like as soon as WrestleMania. But like the ones to me that's really a shock out of all these people is Samoa Joe and the Iconics. Those is the main shock ones for me. Everybody else I could kind of see because they really ain't been on TV for a while. But Samoa Joe and the Iconics, because they was really just featured on WWE television not that long ago. So it's really just mainly a shocker for me, just for them three. But I wish everyone the best of luck, and hope everyone get to their potential, get to where they want to be at. But it's a bummer to me. WWE, they didn't have to release anybody at all. They made record profits, so they could have afforded to keep everybody. But at the end of the day, it's a business.
It's really bad for Samoa Joe, who wants to wrestle, and the Iconics, because you split them up when they're just made for each other. those two are literally made for each other and nobody else. Nobody else. You'll never get the same charisma that you'll get from the Iconics being together from them individually.
Right.
Billy Kay and Peyton Royce fed off each other, and that's what made them funny. And they're going to come to AEW and they're going to make Tony Khan a lot of money.
Yeah, it's gonna be a real slap in the face towards WWE.
Yeah,
especially if Samoa Joe go over there and cause damage, like they gonna realize, like, damn, like we fucked up.
Can you imagine the Iconics over there with no scripted promos?
Yeah.
Tony Khan just saying, "Go out there and be the Iconics."
I could see the Iconics going over there and AEW creating the AEW Women's Tag Team Championship belt because of them. I can see that, because at that point you have to.
The Iconics could be on TV every week, and they wouldn't have to wrestle. Give them a mic and give them 15 minutes. Go out there and make the world laugh for 15 minutes. And it's unscripted. You know everything they're going to say is going to be hilarious.
Man, they really dropped the ball on a couple of these releases. But so far, one of them, like last year release, Rusev, he was one of the biggest releases. But so far, I think WWE's winning so far on that one. I mean, so far, what he doing over AEW, fighting Orange Cassidy over games and stuff. I mean, I would be expecting him to be in a title scene run, or at least have been the champion so far. But I mean, so far in my eyes, I think in that Rusev and WWE thing, I think WWE's winning. Even though he's happy right now, but I still think just overall WWE's winning because he's not really doing nothing.
Well, here's the thing. I'm pretty sure AEW. See, what I believe the difference between WWE and AEW is, I guarantee you AEW has written for years, probably for not years. They probably have the next 6 months of television already wrote. So, and it's not like WWE where guy comes in, makes huge impact, throwing towards the championship. Like, that's not AEW. I guarantee you Rusev will probably be AEW champion probably by this time next year. Because you'll need a heel in order to beat that face. And Rusev, you give Rusev a little year run where he's just wrecking everybody. He has great storylines. Then he's believable as that next heel champion. It's, WWE, they just write for the moment. And that's why we have the storylines that we have now. As in with AEW, right, for the next 6 months down the line. And they might throw something, let's just say they get a signee and they want to, you want to show some, you just want to, interlock some storylines with the new signee, then AEW will do that. But WWE, that's why we have the storylines we have now. They're not looking down the line, as in they're looking like, we just need to get to next week, and then we'll figure it out next week.
Right. All right, guys, that's a wrap. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of D&B Podcast. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And until then, we'll see you on the next one.